The profit incentive is one of the factors that motivates people in a market economy. In the case of supply, the higher the price of a good, the greater the incentive is for a producer to produce more. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, is an 11-nation cartel of oil-producing countries. It once controlled 70% of the world's oil production. And OPEC is powerful, with enough clout to resist American pressure for a large increase in oil production that would lead to lower consumer prices for oil products. Supply and demand at work. In 2001, the oil producers who made up OPEC felt that demand was too low and supply too high. As a result, their oil was selling for less than they wanted. Their action of cutting supply shows how supply and demand work together in the market to set price. A market is any place or mechanism where buyers and sellers of a good or service can get together to exchange that good or service. For example, people who want to buy corn might go to a farmer's market or a supermarket. Someone who wants to buy stock might use a computer to purchase it from a stock market. In each case, markets bring buyers and sellers together. The forces of supply and demand, as we saw in the feature, work together in markets to establish prices. In our economy, prices form the basis for economic decisions. The price adjustment process. Markets consist of all buyers and sellers of a product. To see how supply and demand work together, we need to combine the supply and demand curves. Surplus. A surplus is the amount by which the quantity supplied is higher than the quantity demanded. The surplus also appears as the horizontal distance between the supply and demand curves at any point above where the demand and supply curves intersect. A surplus signals that the price is too high. Consumers are unwilling to pay the price in large enough numbers to satisfy producers. If the market is competitive, this surplus will not exist for long. Sellers will have to lower their prices if they want to sell their goods. Shortage. A shortage is the amount by which the quantity demanded is higher than the quantity supplied. The shortage is shown as the horizontal distance between the two curves at any price below the point where demand and supply cross. A shortage signals that the price is too low. In this situation, suppliers are unwilling to sell their goods or services in large enough numbers to meet all the demand. If the market is competitive, the shortage will not last. The price will have to rise. Market forces. One of the benefits of the market economy is that it eliminates shortages and surpluses when it operates without restriction. Over time, a surplus forces the price down, and a shortage forces the price up. This goes on until supply and demand are balanced. The point where they achieve balance is the equilibrium price. At this price, there is neither a surplus nor a shortage. Once the market price reaches equilibrium, it will tend to stay there until either supply or demand changes. Once that happens, the market will have a temporary surplus or shortage. If there is a surplus, the price will be driven down. If there is a temporary shortage, the price will be driven up. The price will move in this way until the market establishes a new equilibrium price. Price controls. Occasionally, the government sets the price of a product because it believes that the forces of supply and demand are unfair. When this happens, the new price may favor either consumers or producers. A price ceiling is a government-set maximum price that can be charged for goods and services. For example, city officials might set a price ceiling on what landlords may charge for rent. A price floor is a government minimum price that can be charged for goods and services. Price floors, more common than price ceilings, prevent prices from dropping too low. The minimum wage, the lowest legal wage that can be paid to most workers, is a price floor. Prices as signals. The different parts of the economy need a system of signals so they can work smoothly together. In our economy, prices are signals. They help businesses and consumers make decisions. Prices also help answer the basic economic questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. For example, consumers' purchases help producers decide what to produce. They focus on providing the goods and services that consumers are willing to buy at prices that allow the suppliers to earn profits. A company will make video games as long as consumers are willing to buy them at a price that generates profits. If consumers aren't willing to pay that price, the company won't be willing to make video games. Prices also help businesses and consumers decide the question of how to produce. Suppose it will cost a hair salon $20 in labor and supplies to provide a haircut. Consumers, though, are willing to pay only $15 for the haircut. To stay in business, the salon needs to find less costly ways of providing that haircut. That way it can afford to meet the price consumers are willing to pay. Finally, prices help businesses and consumers decide the question of for whom to produce. Some businesses aim their goods or services at the small number of consumers who are willing to pay higher prices. Other businesses aim their goods or services at the larger number of people who want to spend less. Advantages of prices. You know that consumers look for the best values for what they spend, while producers seek the best price and profit for what they have to sell. The information that prices provide allows people to work together to produce more of the things that people want. Without prices, the economy would not run as smoothly, and decisions about allocating goods and services would have to be made some other way. Prices do a good job answering the questions of what, how, and for whom to produce. Prices are neutral. First, prices in a competitive market economy are neutral because they favor neither the producer nor the consumer. Prices are the result of competition between buyers and sellers. In this way, prices represent compromises with which both sides can live. The more competitive the market is, the more efficient the price adjustment process. Prices are flexible. Second, prices in a market economy are flexible. Unforeseen events, such as war and natural disasters, affect the supply and demand for items. Buyers and sellers react to the new level of prices and adjust their consumption and production accordingly. Before long, the system functions as smoothly as it had before. The ability of the price system to absorb unexpected shocks is one of the strengths of a market economy. Prices and freedom of choice. Third, the price system provides for freedom of choice. Because a market economy typically provides a variety of products at a wide range of prices, consumers have many choices. If the price is too high, a lower-priced product can usually be found. Even if a suitable alternative cannot be found, no one forces the consumer to pay a certain price for a product in a competitive market economy. In command economies, such as those found in Cuba and North Korea, consumers face limited choices. Government planners determine the total quantity of goods produced, the number of radios, cars, toasters, and so on. The government then limits the product's variety to keep production costs down. Items such as food, transportation, and housing are offered to citizens at artificially low prices, but seldom are enough produced to satisfy everyone. Many people go without. Prices are familiar. Finally, prices are something that we have known about all our lives. They are familiar and easily understood. There is no ambiguity over a price. If something costs $4.99, then we know exactly what we have to pay for it. This allows people to make decisions quickly and efficiently.